Just 6 months ago, a Cadillac dealer let me in on something surprising. He said, "Our biggest competition? It's not BMW or Mercedes anymore, it's GMC." I brushed it off at first, but now, after getting up close with the 2025 Yukon Denali, I realized he wasn't just right, he might have been underselling it. So, what meets the eye first? The looks, of course. Let's start with the looks. The 2025 Yukon Denali has received what I'd call a strategic evolution. While the Escalade goes all in with its massive light blade signatures and illuminated grille, GMC took a different approach. The new front end features a completely redesigned triple-stacked LED lighting system that's actually more sophisticated than the Escalade setup. Each LED element serves a specific purpose. Running lights, turn signals, and those crystal-clear projector beams that cut through darkness like a lighthouse. The grille is where it gets interesting. While Cadillac's massive grille dominates the front end of the Escalade, GMC actually refined and toned down the Denali grille for 2025. It's finished in a smoky black with subtle chrome outlining, featuring a unique geometric pattern you won't find on any other GMC. That GMC badge? It's backlit, but in a way that's noticeable without being shouty. Very different from the Escalade's nighttime light show. Now let's talk about what might be the biggest statement piece on this SUV, literally. For the first time in Yukon history, GMC is offering 24-inch wheels, but don't call them just any big wheels. The 25th anniversary edition gets a unique design with a gloss black finish that makes the Escalade's 22-inch wheels almost look modest. And here's where GMC really throws down the gauntlet. Behind those massive wheels are Brembo 6-piston performance brake calipers in bright red. That's a performance touch you won't find on the Escalade at any price. The proportions are worth talking about too. While both SUVs share the same basic platform, GMC has worked some visual magic here. The hood line is slightly lower than before, improving visibility while maintaining presence. The body sides feature a more pronounced shoulder line than the Escalade, and those power-deployable running boards are actually wider and more substantial than what you'll find on its Cadillac cousin. Moving around to the rear, GMC didn't just update the taillights, they completely reimagined them. The new full LED units feature a distinctive light signature that's visible from blocks away. And while the Escalade goes for a full-width light bar, the Yukon keeps things more traditional, but with a modern twist. The quad exhaust tips? They're not just for show. Unlike the Escalade's mostly decorative exhaust finishers, these are actually connected to the exhaust system, delivering a subtle but noticeable burble that reminds you that this is still a performance-capable machine. But what about when you're behind the wheel? Let's check out the cabin. Step inside and you'll notice something that sets this Yukon apart from every luxury SUV in its class. Balance. You know that the Escalade throws screens at you like a Vegas casino, but this 2025 Yukon Denali takes a more thoughtful approach. The centerpiece is a new 16.8-inch portrait-style infotainment display that honestly makes more sense than Cadillac's ultra-wide setup. It's paired with a fully digital instrument cluster that's actually easier to read than the Escalade's pixel-packed display. But here's where GMC really shows they've been listening to luxury buyers: physical controls. In a world where even Cadillac is going all in on touch interfaces, the Yukon keeps real buttons and knobs for critical functions. The climate controls are beautiful metal toggles with tactical feedback. The volume knob is still there, right where you expect it. This might seem minor, but try adjusting your temperature while wearing gloves in an Escalade, and you'll appreciate GMC's approach. Let's talk materials, because this is where the 25th anniversary edition really shines. The open-pore wood trim looks more than real. It's actually thicker than what you'll find in the Escalade. Run your hand across it, and you can feel the grain. The leather is a new grade exclusive to this anniversary model, with a unique perforation pattern and what GMC calls forged stitching, a complex crisscross pattern that takes 3 times longer to complete than standard stitching. The center console hides a party trick the Escalade can't match. It's power sliding. Push a button, And the entire console can move backward, creating extra space between the front seats. Perfect for reaching into the back or creating a workspace. And isn't that a nice touch? Who wouldn't want a power sliding console when reaching for something in the back? Speaking of workspace, the wireless charging pad is actually angled for better cooling. A small detail that makes a big difference when you're using navigation on a hot day. Second row passengers aren't just accommodated, they're celebrated. The captain's chairs in this 2025 anniversary edition featured the same complex stitching as the front, plus heating, ventilation, and power adjustments. The entertainment screens are actually bigger than last year's model at 12.6 inches each, and unlike the Escalade setup, these can share content between screens. But here's something even more amazing. GMC added additional sound deadening back there for 2025, and the seats themselves are almost as thick as the second rows. You get USB-C ports, cup holders, and even a phone itself. Things some European luxury SUVs skip entirely. The climate control vents? They're ceiling mounted for better air distribution, not just stuck in the pillars as an afterthought. The 2025 model year brings some serious tech upgrades too. Super Cruise has been enhanced with automatic lane changes and can now handle towing situations, something the Escalade system is still working on. The available night vision system is new for 2025, and it's actually integrated better than Cadillac's version, with a larger display area in the instrument cluster. Connectivity? GMC didn't just add features, they made them more usable. This new Google-based infotainment system loads faster than the Escalades, and the native apps feel more integrated. You can even use Google Assistant to adjust vehicle functions like the climate control or ambient lighting. Try that in an Escalade. Speaking of lighting, the ambient system is completely customizable with 126 different color combinations. But instead of just throwing light everywhere, GMC carefully placed the LEDs to highlight the interior's best features. The door panels, for instance, have 3 separate lighting zones that create depth at night. The heads-up display is 15% larger for 2025 and now includes augmented reality navigation arrows, similar to what Mercedes offers in their high-end models. And unique to the Yukon is a new transparent trailer view that stitches together camera feeds to make your trailer virtually disappear when backing up. Now, onto the heart of the SUV, the engine and how it drives. While the Escalade is going all in on their upcoming EV, the Yukon Denali gives you choices. The star of the show is still the 6.2-liter V8, pushing out 420 horsepower and 460 pounds-per-foot of torque. It's paired with a 10-speed automatic that's been retuned for 2025, and honestly, the shifts are so smooth, you'd think you were driving an electric car. But here's where it gets interesting. While Cadillac phases out their diesel option, GMC is doubling down. The updated Duramax diesel, coming later this year, is rumored to bump up both power and torque, which could make this the most fuel-efficient full-size luxury SUV in America. And if you want something in between, there's the 5.3-liter V8 that's perfect for buyers who want capability without the fuel bills of the bigger engine. The suspension setup deserves special attention. The 2025 model's magnetic ride control has been completely retuned. Working with those massive 24-inch wheels and Brembo brakes, it delivers what I'd call the perfect balance of comfort and control. Hit a corner and you'll swear you're driving something half this size. The air suspension can now adjust faster than before, and it'll even use GPS data to prepare for upcoming road conditions. Let's be real, most Escalades never tow anything more serious than a jet ski. But GMC knows their buyers actually use these capabilities. The Yukon Denali can pull up to 8,400 pounds when properly equipped, and they've added some clever features to make it easier. The new transparent trailer view I mentioned before? It works with both conventional and gooseneck trailers. There's also a new trailer tire pressure monitoring system that can handle up to 6 trailer tires, something you usually only find in heavy-duty pickups. Cargo space? You're looking at 16 cubic feet behind the third row, which expands to a massive 72.6 cubic feet with the third row folded. The power folding system has been sped up for 2025, now taking just 6 seconds to go from passenger to cargo mode. And, unlike the Escalade, you get a full-width storage drawer under the cargo floor, perfect for keeping valuable items out of sight. Now, let's talk numbers. While the final pricing hasn't been announced, the 25th Anniversary Edition is expected to land somewhere under $100,000. A comparably equipped Escalade? You're looking at $110,000 or more. But here's the thing, it's not just about price. The Yukon Denali offers features you can't get in an Escalade at any price. Those Brembo brakes, the power sliding console, the wider range of engines, and when it comes to value, would you rather pay over $100,000 for an Escalade or get a similar luxury at a lower price point with the Yukon? So, is the 2025 Yukon Denali a better luxury SUV than the Cadillac Escalade? Here's my take. If your priority is making the boldest statement possible, the Escalade still wins. Its dramatic styling and massive screens will turn more heads at the valet stand. But if you want what might be the more complete luxury SUV, the Yukon Denali, especially this 25th Anniversary Edition, makes an incredibly strong case. It matches or exceeds the Escalade's luxury quotient while offering more capability, more engine choices, and some genuinely unique features. Plus, it does all this while maintaining a slightly more subtle presence, perfect for buyers who want luxury without the flash. Think of it this way. The Escalade is like a Manhattan penthouse. Impressive, but maybe a bit much for everyday life. The Yukon Denali? It's more like a Hamptons estate. Equally luxurious, but more versatile and ultimately more livable. So, which one are you leaning towards? The bold city statement or the luxury with versatility? Let us know in the comments below. And thanks for joining us. We'll see you in the next video.